Secrets to how he became the richest man on earth, worth over $300 billion. Secrets behind his success. Here is Elon Musk.
And you do 16-hour days, and you work 7 hours a week, and you fly all over the place, and you go to these meetings constantly, and people constantly criticize you for everything. It's amazing to me. I mean, you're changing the world, and you're giving yourself. Why do you do this? So my wife says to me, "Why are you still working? Why are you still working? What are you doing here?"
Well, I think what I'm working on has an important effect on the future. In the case of Tesla, I think it's fair to say that Tesla has significantly accelerated the advent of sustainable energy. Before Tesla, no one was doing electric cars, and now, as a result of Tesla, I think almost every major car company in the world is building electric cars, and I think that's a pretty big deal. But there's still a long way to go to transition the world to a sustainable energy economy, and so we still have a lot of work ahead of us at Tesla, but that's our goal there. And then for SpaceX, I think it's important for the future to be exciting and for humanity's existence to be ensured over the long term. I think we must become a multi-planet species and a space-faring civilization. I think we're here like 4.5 billion years after Earth got started, 13.8 billion years into the age of the universe, and it's only now, recently, in the last 5,000 years, that we invented writing. I would say date the first civilization by when there was the first writing, which was in ancient Sumeria around 5,000 or 6,000 years ago. So we've basically just been here for a very brief instant.
A blink.
All of human civilization is a blink of an eye, if there was an eye, on an evolutionary timescale. So I think it's important we take the actions to ensure that the light of consciousness continues, and because we should really view consciousness as a small candle in a vast darkness, and it can easily go out.
So you have these missions, and somehow, whenever you have the mission and you have this vision, and you are a visionary, that somehow, whatever you do, you develop other businesses. So when you started SpaceX, you didn't think about satellites. When you started Tesla, you didn't think about robots. When you don't have enough people, you didn't think about robots. So you didn't think about autonomous driving. And without Elon, there would not be electric cars. Nobody who makes cars wants to make electric cars. They're being forced to make them. In fact, every time they sell an electric car, they sell one fewer car that they make money on. And they have all that money invested in plants that make those other cars. So nobody wants to have these cars except for him. And everybody thought it was going to fail. And one of the things you said is that patents are for the weak. And you share your patents. Yeah. And with other companies, of course, on the other hand, when they get your patents, you're 2 or 3 years ahead of them.
Well, I mean, I was joking about patents for the weak. I think there is a role for patents. Let's say if some company has spent a lot of money developing a particular medicine and had to go through the expense of stage 3 medical trials, and then they finally get something that is approved, but where the drug itself is cheap to manufacture, then I think a patent in that case makes sense. Otherwise, no one would go to the trouble of doing stage 3 medical trials. So there are definitely roles for patents. In the case of Tesla, our goal is to advance sustainable energy, and we can't just do it by ourselves. We need the whole industry to go that way. So we gave them our patents for free in order to help them accelerate electric vehicles.
So it must be terrifying to other companies to realize that when we make cars, it's $39,000 in cost a car, and we're making $15,000, $16,000 in profit a car. And so we invest $7 billion, and we make $15 billion a year. I'm sorry, yeah, and 15, right. a million cars, 15,000, 15 million a year on a $7 million investment. Shocking. So no one else does that. And when and here you're telling us how you want to make cars for $20,000 a piece. How do you do that?
Well, we've not formally announced our next car program, so I can't talk too much about our upcoming vehicle program or programs that have not been announced, but we do expect to make cars that are more affordable than the current Model 3 or Model Y. So, and a big factor in this is, yeah. But I think by far the biggest factor is autonomy in terms of the value of a car, because right now cars get driven for about 10 or 12 hours a week, like maybe 1.5 hours a day, and but there's 168 hours in a week, and so if they were autonomous, you could probably the cars could drive for 50 or 60 hours, so you would see a 5-fold increase in the utility of the car, that can do autonomy. This is a really, really gigantic thing. It would also mean that we wouldn't need anywhere near as many parking lots, and this would also be helpful for the environment because you would need far fewer cars.
So I misspoke. It was a $7 billion investment for a plant that makes 1 million cars a year that makes $15 billion a year in profits. So you invest $7 billion and you make $15 billion a year. Who does that? And for a plant that makes things, manufacturing,